Hello everyone, welcome to Job Skills Share, platform where we learn, teach, and share job skills. First, I want to say thank you to everyone for all the positive comments and everything, all the support. So thank you so much on that. What are we going to do today? Today we are basically going to let's go ahead and go to the portal. And we made some videos about imaging servers using Crucible WDS. And we are going to be doing that in this video. Basically, my last video was about Windows 7 and 8 imaging server. If you guys watch my last videos, this video will go under a lab technician course and also the help desk course. So what are we going to do in this video today? We are going to be making a server, but this time no DHCP server. What am I saying here? I mean, we are going to need a DHCP server, but let's say, for example, you work in a company where you don't have access to the DHCP server and changing setup over there, or maybe you want to just separate this from your network, this whole imaging server. You don't want to like put this on your network. You just have a room where you can put like 15 computers together and you want to image them. So in the last video, you had to go through the DHCP server and change some setup over there to clients to boot to that DHCP server, to get the IP address from the DHCP server and then get to the server. So this time, what we're going to do, we're going to build the whole imaging server on a separate network. Meaning, what we're going to do first, we are going to go to the site. So let's go ahead and go to Crucible WDS site. So if you go to google.com, type Crucible WDS, and then you will go to this link right here. And now we are in the site right now. So we have went through all this, we did all that. So if you're new to this video, please watch my previous video to understand what I'm saying, because it's not going to make any sense to you guys if you're just watching this for the first time. So what are we going to do? We are going to go to the documentation here, and in this documentation, what I want you guys to focus on is system requirement. Let's go there, scroll down. Actually, not the script system requirement, we're going to just go down a little bit. Installation on Windows client boot method. This is where I want to be. There you go. That's what I was looking for. So, as you can see right there, using the provided DHCP server, Windows install only. We did the first part. Remember, we had the server 2012 and we did some changes. But what if you don't want to use that? What if you don't want to put this on your network? What if you just want to keep this to your one room, or maybe make a portable imaging server so you can go somewhere else and do this as a job, I guess, or anything. I mean, you can come up with any scenario over here. So this is what we're going to do today. We are going to create our own portable type solution. I mean, just our own DHCP server, and do everything from scratch. So you guys have to follow me very closely, because all of this information is going to be very important. If you miss some steps, then it might not work for you guys. So I'm going to do this. I already copied this stuff and I made this little Word document right here. It's the same thing basically from the site, so I can share this directly with you guys, so you guys don't have to go to the site and grab all these information. So I'm going to share this on a description, and you guys can follow the same directions. It's very easy. Copy paste, and you're done. So that's what we're gonna do in this video. But what is our real world scenario here? This is our real world scenario basically. I want to create a server, which I don't have access to a DHCP server, or I don't need to install a whole DHCP Windows 2012 server, put a DHCP on it. I don't have that access right now. So in this scenario, we are in this situation, okay? So this is going to be our server. That computer right there is going to be our server, okay? And this is going to be our switch. This switch right here is basically going to be separated from network. As you can see, this is not connected anywhere. So how are we going to image? What do I mean by imaging? So if you're new to this stuff, basically what I mean is I'm going to create an imaging server on that computer. This is my server. this is my switch, and when I build that server, these whole ports, I can plug in almost 15 or 24 computers right there, and all of them can get imaged at the same time. Now I don't have 24 computers, but you guys get the idea. We're going to be using this computer as a test. I have an XP machine, old machine. It's already configured. I mean, take this example, like for example, you have 30 computers, you got it for some company, they gave it to you and they want you to image them. So you don't have ability to just install DHCP servers and everything. What you did, you want to make something like this, like a portable solution, and make a switch, or take this to their office, grab all those 30 machines and start plugging them into the switch without affecting the network or anything. You got it all covered. That's the main scenario over here, or any, like I said, you guys can use it for any other scenario. So enough with talking, let's go ahead and start building this machine as a server. So the first thing you need to do is we need to go back to the site and download our Crucible WDS file. And to do that, you just need to go to the top right there and click on that 2.3.1.exe. I'm going to click on that, and I'll just click on this to make it a little faster. So okay, I'm going to say keep it, and it's downloading right now. Now since that's downloading, I will talk a little bit about what machine that I have in the background. It's Windows 7 fresh machine. It doesn't even have updates in there, but what I will do is basically check if you have an antivirus. Yes, I do. I'm going to uninstall that antivirus. Okay, now of course you won't do this if this server was like on the main network and this was like a main what do you call, imaging server, and it's always on the network, then definitely that will be a little security risk. But if you are using it like not connected to the network, you're creating that portable solution that we are making right now, then it won't even get to the internet. The things that you're downloading right now, basically you can do this. You can go to other computer, download this software, put it in a USB, and then grab it to this, put it to this computer and start building this one. The second thing that I would do is to turn off the firewall just in case there's any issues with installations. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my firewall. So go ahead and turn it off. Off, and I'm going to click OK. So our file is downloaded here. So there you go, and that's right there. Okay. One other thing is you need a .NET 4.0. I think it's 4.0 or 4.5. We'll check it right now. But you need that, so make sure you get that before we turn any online connection to this machine. So we're going to go ahead and double click on it and see what happens. So I'm going to click on yes, and then I get that Crucible WDS require Microsoft .NET Frame 4.0. So we need to get that first. So let's go ahead and get that. Go to Google, and you can just type .NET 4.0. So when you get 4.0, I usually go to FileHippo. I mean, you can go to Microsoft and download it. I just like FileHippo because it gives you like a full software. So we can just download it. Just gonna say keep. So guys, as you can see, we need two files here. If you don't have 4.0, you need to get that first, and you need to get Crucible 2.3.1 exe. So we got both of it. I'm just gonna go and say show in folder, and then I'm gonna minimize this. All of that, I need that. So if you didn't have internet on this machine, you could have just got it from other machine and plug it in from a USB, and you're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off internet. So from this, I'm just going to turn off the Wi-Fi. That means this machine is totally disconnected from the internet. So now all we have is this machine, this server, this computer is just running from there, right there, and then we have a switch, a port, 24 port switch right there. All we need to do is Oh no, I'm sorry, it's 48. So what are we gonna do right now? So we turned it off. We got the switch right there, and let's go ahead and install it right now. So first thing you need to do is to install the .NET 4.0 and click yes. Alright, well, we have to accept the agreement and click on install. Now be patient with the installation, it can take a little while for this to finish up. So installation is complete. Now we're gonna click on finish. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and open our document and let's go ahead and configure this. So remember, we did this part in our last video. We used a Windows DHCP server. This time we are using this option, using the provided DHCP server, Windows install only. Okay, this method is only intended to be used on isolated network. Remember, this is an isolated network. This is what we're doing right now. Okay, for example, your Crucible WDS server, a 24 port switch, we have 48 port switch. I mean, you can use any like smaller one like this one. For example, I have this right here. I mean, you can use this too. It doesn't matter as long as they can get the IP addresses. So you can use that. Now what we're gonna do is we have this little IP configuration that we need to do. So let's go ahead and do that. So to do this on a Windows 7 machine, right click on that little computer icon, go to open network and share center. When you open that, then you can go to change adapters, right click on the local area adapter, whichever is like basically enabled. I am going to click on this one, properties, and then you will click on IPv4. This is the IPv4 TCP IPv4, not the 6 one, so make sure you guys click on that one, properties, and now you see this, we need to change that. We need to give it an IP address. So let's go back to doc. I mean, you can give anything you want. I mean, I just want to keep everything the same so then you guys can follow it from the document. So it's 192.168.1.10. So we're gonna go back in there. 192. .168 1.10, and the subnet mask is good. So basically we don't need to do anything else. This is all we need. Let's go back and just check. Okay, read that, and it tells you right, gateway and DNS are not needed. Okay, so we did that part, and we are going to click on OK. So we're done with this IP configuration, and now let's go back to our server and install the Crucible WDS server. Now double click on it and I click on yes, run. So you will get this pop-up. Click on yes, click on next. This is a new installation. I am going to click on next, and here you need to change this IP address to the one that we just created, 1.10. so that's 192.168.1.10, and here please use a good password, just to be safe. If you use something very like 1 2 3 4 5 and your computer didn't like it, then you probably going to this might not work for you then. So make sure you guys use a good password for both of these. I usually keep the same password, so make sure you guys give it a good password. Alright, so I'm going to click on next and accept the agreement. Click next, click install. You know, the reason I turned off the firewall and the antivirus just because everything needs to be clean and complete. Sometimes if it's not, then you just have to kind of play around and go to the forum and find the solution. So as everything is completed, it will ask you to restart your computer. We are done with the installation. So after this, we'll just do a little bit setup with the DHCP. So the DHCP server will be running under this computer, meaning we will not need any Windows DHCP server, and we should be able to image computers after that. So after restart, you will notice another username on your computer, Crucible WDS. That's required for the server to operate, so you just don't leave that one and go to your account. Alright, so now it should be all good running. So let's go ahead and open the Crucible WDS. So double click on that. It's going to be on your desktop. This may take a second, so be patient. So there you go. If you don't know, you don't see that link on your desktop, then it's localhost Crucible WDS and click enter, and you should be get to this point. The username is Crucible WDS and password is password, all lowercase. Crucible WDS, and the password is password. So now we are in the system. Our server is up and running. If you go to the admin side, what we want to check, if you click on admin, the IP address should be the one that we just created a little while ago. So after this, we're not doing anything. Everything is good to go. But you guys are gonna go back to my document, and again I will remind you, if this document is from the site, so the credit goes to the developer, but I'm just copying this for making it a little easier so you guys don't have to look around. So what we need to do right now is we need to fire up our DHCP server, which is internally portable server tftp32_GUI.exe. So what's going to happen, this computer is going to turn into a DHCP server, and it will start assigning IP addresses, and that's what we need right now. So we need to go to this right here, this path. This is going to be under, if you click on start, go to your computer, go to your C drive, go to your where is it, inet pub, then www.root, and then go to Crucible WDS, then right here tftp32, and this is the one that we are looking for, tftp pd32_GUI. So now that's right there. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this and get back to my document right here. So let's go ahead and say select settings, then check DHCP server under global tab. So you're going to click on select settings, click DHCP server here, then DHCP tab, and here we need to change this stuff. So we will put this same IP address. This is 1.20. Remember, this is not 22, okay? So not 10, not, what am I saying? It's not 10, it's 20. So we need to pull that, and we're gonna give size pool to 100. That's what it says right here. And then it says give the mask 255.255.255.0. So the mask goes right here. Paste it. Then we have to set our boot file to bxe boot.0. I'm just copying everything because it's, if you do a mistake, and make sure you put a backspace right there. So now it's .0. So everything is good to go. Click on OK and run the program. Okay, so we're gonna click on OK, and that's it. We did that. Now let's go back and copy this right here. This command, we need to do this from a CMD. So copy that. Go to your start, type CMD, right click and run as administrator, click yes, and right click and paste here and click enter. So you get this message, service was stopped successfully. Remember guys, in the beginning I said it's all copy paste, so if you guys do that it will work pretty smooth. Then paste this again. We need to start the service again. And service is started successfully. One last thing you need to copy and paste is when you go down, you need to copy and paste this part right here. Make sure the 5 and 6 doesn't come in there, it's just the whole command in there, okay? So you need to go back, right click, paste it. You're gonna get that little message. Actually, I messed up. Let's go back to the site and copy paste it from there. Alright, this time I removed the 5 and 6 and I'll keep it that way because I think that's gonna mess it up. So let's go back in there, copy paste. Yep, that's what I was looking for. So I removed the 5 and 6 from my document, which is right here. I removed that, backspace, and then I copy this and paste it over here. And what you need to do after this, once this is done, you can come back here just to check if you have this image file. What it did basically, it shared the images file and give it permissions and all that, so you guys don't need to worry about permissions. So to check that, you go to properties and check your PC name, which is IT/PC. Mine, you need to put yours. Backspace, PC, backspace, and there you go. You should see something like this on your machine. We are done. This machine is totally a portable, separated from our network imaging server. That switch is ready to go. This computer is a master computer. I spent, let's say for example, 5 hours, and now the other 29 computers are going to get image very quickly without me spending 5 hours on it. That's the basic idea of what I'm trying to present right here, okay? So what we need to do right now, we need to turn this machine up and we need to boot it from the network. So let's go ahead and restart this machine. The same process after this. You guys can stop this video if you already know this from the other video, but after this it's the same process. Basically, this computer, we need to boot it from the network. You can call it Pixie, boot it from NIC, whatever you call. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go down and say onboard network controller. I'm gonna click enter, and now it's looking for that DHCP server on Windows 7. Remember, it's not Windows 2012 or anything like that now. Alright, so there you go. This, if you see this window, that means it's working, okay? And you need to be a little quick to do whatever you want to do with this. You have only 4 seconds. It's going to go to boot local machine. If your hard drive is not set to start after NIC, then it's going to fail. So you need to be pretty quickly. So you have other options now: on demand, add a host. At this point, this server don't have this added to that server. There's nothing in this server right now. The first thing we need to do is to let's go ahead and see if our host is getting added and if the other communications are working. So let's go ahead and add this host to our server. So just click on add host. Alright, so now you'll just name this. Let's say for example we're going to name it XP test, and we'll click enter. So this host is added to that server. So let's go ahead and check that right now. So if you go to your host settings, now we will see XP. Oh, okay, we need to put the username and password again. Let me do that quickly. Crucible and password, log in. Host, there you go. We got the host, we got the MAC address. Now you could have done this manually, putting the MAC address and all that, but I don't like to do that. I just hit one click and I have the MAC address right there. It's easy. So we need to create an image now. We click on image file, and we're gonna click on that little plus sign there, and let's call it XP image. And we are going to add this image now. So we go back to this image, sorry, the host, and we'll assign that image to this host. click on weave and select image right here, scroll down, click update host. Now you have more power because image is added to that host. What do you want to do with that host now? Let's go ahead to task here, and we're gonna do a unicast. And here's the options. We already discussed this in last videos, but I'm just gonna go through it quickly. I want to grab that image now. Since this is the master image, getting ready for the other 29 computers, I need to pull it up, put it on my server. So I need to use upload option. So when I do upload, it says, are you sure you want to do this? Blah, blah, blah. Yes. Now it's ready. This task is created right now. It's now waiting for this host to start up from Nick again, and it will automatically do everything else. So let's go ahead and start this host. So to start from network controller, click yes, enter. So as you can see right now, the computer automatically picks up after when it starts. That's basically that task is telling it to from the server that pull this image from this computer and save it on that server. That's what's happening right now. So basically after this, it's going to take its own time. You need to just make sure that this thing is connected. Other things you need to know is that you can see there's no internet connection going to this switch right now. So everything is separated. What that means, separate meaning, is that it's not connected to other network or put a load on another network. So you can make a scenario of it. One room, you have a one room for IT, and you got all these computers at once, and you need to image them at once without putting a load on other people or on a network or doing anything like that. Or maybe you don't have access to a Windows Server, DHCP server. You can do that. So you have your options this way, and you can do anything you want. Other thing is that how fast is your switch? Is it a gigabit switch? Then your system is going to be fast. It's going to pull and deploy images very fast. For example, in my test, I had a gigabit switch, and 60 GB went into about 12 to 13 minutes. It was pretty fast. 30 GB was almost the same, kind of like 10 minutes. So it depends. It depends on how big your image is, how big your file is. Other stuff, like if you have done any mistakes on firewalls and stuff like that, then it can slow you down. But yeah, if you guys have any issues, make sure you guys go to the site, go to the crucible.org site and go to the forum, and if they have any issues like errors or anything like that, then drop it out right there. I'm sure someone will help you out with that. As you can see, it just picked up and it's basically starting to do everything right now, grabbing all the information from this computer, which is happening everything automatically. And it tells you right here the time is almost 3 GB, and it's telling you that how much percentage is done. And here's the time remaining right now. Only 5 minutes remaining for this whole image to get from this computer to get to that computer. And it tells you pretty nice on your server too. So it's a pretty nice feature right there. It's awesome. Free tool, open source. In the last video we started the upload process, and the computer basically right here is saying that it's uploaded, and we should be done closing the task. So this computer, this image that we have worked on it's done, it's uploaded to the server, and it's telling you right here it's 100% completed, and it's done. So basically you can go back to and that will go away automatically from there too, and your computer will start just like it was before. Everything is cool and working. So if you go back to your images, you will see that the size on the server right now is 8 GB. Minimum client size was 18 GB. So shrink that size to 8 GB, which is pretty cool. If you guys go to click on history right here, this is an image history. It'll tell you right here what happened to that image. So what happened now? Let's build a scenario right here. What happened if this machine is my boss machine and it just crashed all of a sudden? I have the files and everything, it gets saved into cloud or whatever, but I want to get this image back to it. So I'm going to quickly show you guys how to do the deploying part of it. Is also pretty easy, just like it was for upload. So now what we need to do is go to task, and we'll do start a unicast session, and this time we will pick on deploy. So we're going to say deploy, and see right here on the top it says this is where it's going to get deployed. This is the machine name, this machine name right here, that's the MAC address, and say yes. So now we have created another task. It's basically getting the image out of this server, going through our separate switch right here, which could be your DHCP server like it was before too in this type of scenario. And this machine is messed up, we need to get it back to that solid state that we just got it uploaded to our server, right? So the task is ready. This machine is just need to be restarted, and that's all. So basically you came to the office and you're like, you know what, let me just fire up my imaging server and get this thing done in like 10 minutes. So we're gonna start it from network. Now guys, this option is pretty hardcore option. Make sure what you are doing here, you're basically erasing all data on this machine and getting that image from the server. So you need to know exactly what you're doing when you're doing deployment, because if your boss have files on a C drive and you image that on this machine, you cannot get those files, and that's going to be a disaster. So you need to use your tools to get into the hard drive and grab whatever data you can, and then do this part. Now upload was pretty easy, right? You just took the whole data out of it, you put it into a server, nothing changes, nothing to worry about. Actually, you have a pretty good backup of this machine, which is good, really good. But when you do deployment, you really need to make sure what you're doing, because you're erasing all the data on this machine. So here's what I want you guys to focus on. Restoring. Anytime where you see restoring stuff, that's basically wiping off everything on this machine right now. And right now, so if you go back to server, the task gets started right now and telling you how much time remaining, 8 minutes remaining for this to finish up. It can go up like that, as you can see, depending on the speed. So the more it goes down, the more this is going to go up. The more this goes up, the more less time you're going to spend. Like I said, if you use a gigabit switch, this is around 6 GB, 5 GB, very, very fast. This could have been done like in 4 minutes. So as you can see, it's going down. And if you go back to your switch, it's running like crazy right now. So if it's a lot of machines on this switch, definitely is going to be slower. So I prefer, if you have a small gigabit switch, even if you put like 2 separate ones, it should work pretty good for you guys. Now once your imaging is done, this will automatically reboot, and it should basically reboot to the Windows, and everything should be working. And as you guys can see, it's coming back up again and everything is fresh. So the scenario would be, I mean, it crashed, you can't get it up again. So this is how you fix it once you have the image already uploaded to the server. So thank you for watching this. This was just an extra video for someone who wanted to look at the deployment part of it. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, and see you guys again. Bye bye.